And I'm sure some ulemas are for ijtihad or are in favor of what you're saying, or you think that all of them are like...
No, of course not. Not all of them are. But the reality remains that the vast majority of the ulema feel that their power is threatened by messages like mine, and they are right. The monopoly on power is threatened. That's the key. But I can tell you that, in fact, there are some very supportive members of the ulema. As a matter of fact, the foreword to the new edition of my book is written by Dr. Khalil Muhammad, who is an imam and professor of Islamic studies in the United States. And he has said that, you know, all of the religious training that I got in Saudi Arabia and Syria should make me believe that Irshad Manji, you know, truly is out to destroy Islam. It should be in my DNA that I reach this kind of a conclusion. But he says in his foreword to my book, I then actually read what she is writing. And I think and reflect as the Quran asks me to do. And I realize she is asking all of us to live up to what he calls the divine imperative. And he quotes chapter 4, verse 135 of the Quran, believers, conduct yourselves with justice and bear true witness before God, even if it be against yourselves, your parents, or your family. This is a call to speak truth to power, no matter who is offended.
Fantastic. I would like to remind the audience that Irshad is well versed with the Holy Quran and has been reading it since quite some time and understands Arabic, and it's not someone who doesn't know what she's doing.
As a matter of fact, just so your viewers know the lengths to which I went in order to ensure my understanding of the Quran is solid, as a child, after I was expelled from the madrasa for asking too many questions, instead of walking away from the religion, which of course I could have easily done, I took on extra tutoring jobs in science and social studies just so I could earn a little bit more money to hire an Arabic tutor, so that I could read the Quran for myself. So again, Imran, everything that I'm saying in terms of empowering women with micro-business loans, in terms of becoming literate, in terms of reading for ourselves, I'm trying not to be a hypocrite. I have done all of these things myself and am showing that it is possible for individual Muslims to also do this without the permission of the elders.
Fantastic. Lastly, this conspiracy theory idea that Jews are behind this and that this Christian radicals are anti-Islamic and they want to get rid of Islam, they want to take over Kaaba and take over Mecca and all these things, and they're changing the mindsets of the people. To put it in a brief, what you're saying is that it's us ourselves who are hampering the religion. Forget about outside conspiracy theories. Let's start looking. Let's start, having our own introspections and try to look within our own selves and find out where we're going wrong.
Well, that ultimately is my message, that before we start pointing fingers or continue pointing fingers, since we've already started, at America, Israel, MTV, we as Muslims have to start taking responsibility for what we are contributing to the crisis in Islam today. And I go to lengths in my book and back up every single fact with research, which is on my website, to show that long before Western imperialism hit the scene, long before the CIA came into existence, long before the Jewish state of Israel was born, we Muslims have been bludgeoning each other's freedoms and imposing martial law on one another. So that, what has gone wrong with Islam, in fact, begins with us Muslims. And this is why we must lead the effort to fix the problem. I remind all of your viewers, this is not an anti-Islamic or un-Islamic message. Remember the key passage from the Quran, chapter 13, verse 11. God does not change the condition of a people until they change what is in themselves. If Allah has made us the best nation, as so many Muslims like to believe we are, let us not simply spout those words as if merely saying them makes it true. Let us actually act those words out and show the world why it is true.
On this very note, thank you very much for joining us. It was a pleasure.
Wa alaikum salam. God bless.
Assalamu alaikum.